Welcome everyone to the first meeting of the hopefully soon-to-be Northern Legion.
As all the lords of the north gather with representatives of their cities and forces,
Free food and go.
Yes, let me just remove my helmet. Okay, as I said before, each of you are representatives at your tables. You're going to keep this nice and orderly, meaning whoever is currently speaking will stand in the center of the room and address the community. If you would like to interject, do not just start talking, though I understand. Table up against it, and we will understand that you are waiting a turn to speak, and you will be then called upon in due time. Besides that, we'll keep your weapon sheaths. We all been called here in peace. We have food provided from our wondrous host and cook, Cetra and Layman. And besides that, let's meeting again.
Very well. Shall I begin the conversation?
Sure.
Greetings to all clansmen. I know that most of you have made the trip here from a long way. Welcome to Glastonbury. It's an honour to have you here in our keep. For those of you who've made the long journey and wish to eat a hearty meal, please help yourself. As the matter at hand, if we would like to begin, is the matter of a member from Imperium whom has now committed unjustified murder against people of the North. This is the second occasion in which he has done so. We're calling this meeting to decide what to do about it. We feel the first incident in question was unjustified in itself. Pardon me. The name of the individual is Rom from Terra Nova. We had reason to believe he was from Imperium, but we've ascertained he's actually from Terra Nova.
Wait, did you say Rom?
Excuse me. Pardon me, new information's coming in. As I said, the name of the individual, I'll let Hans and Diver get into specific details, but basically, a member of the South has now committed an unjustified crime against a Northman the second time in a row now. The first time round, the justification for killing one of the Northmen was he was a target. That's all. No further explanation was given. On this second occasion, he's run through a village, a brand new community, right through, and just decided to massacre people. Unjustified, nothing more than just blatant killing. We feel that his attacks have gone more broad, and with no response, will continue to get even more brazen. And tomorrow it could be Glastonbury, it could be Alton, it could be Fusag, it could be anyone. We feel that their leadership is not responding properly in terms of diplomacy, and we feel that a group effort of multiple communities need to get together to decide what to do. On a personal level, we feel that the community that this person belongs to needs to be contacted, and we need to demand justice for the Northmen that were killed, and a form of compensation, and the criminal must be presented forward for punishment. That is at this time what Glastonbury proposes, and we're happy to hear questions, or furthermore we would like to know where you stand with this. And before I pass the floor to another person, keep in mind today it's just the Northmen, it's just a new clan, but tomorrow it could be you and it could be your clansman. I'm happy to pass the floor on to someone else now. Blackthorn, please step forward. Take the floor.
Okay, I've known about this fella for a while. Our group is actually rivals with their group. For some part, it has been friendly, but he's one of the players that I know is, and always will be, a loose cannon, as well as having a short fuse. As far as dealing with him, he's not going to listen to anything that his leader says, and his leader's not going to enforce anything upon him. I can guarantee you that. Now, as far as retribution, he's one of those kinds of players that if you kill him even once, the amount of anger that he would have would make up for anything else, because he's like I said, he's a short fuse. I mean, it doesn't take much to anger this guy, and their group as a whole.
Walk outside in front of the gate.
No matter what happens from this point on, we got to keep going with the meeting.
Yeah,
so
this has been going a while.
Yeah.
Do we?
Come on.
I mean, just to be sensitive to people that would, if they have lives
I can be
outside of this
sensitive.
game.
I can be sensitive.
Alright, so now we can continue where we were, so you can just stand in the middle where you were, Sloth. Alright, so go ahead, Sloth.
Alright, so pretty much our new community, we're rising and we're looking to get into it, and we don't have much, but we're pretty much gonna offer everything we have at the moment. We're planning on building up, and we're pretty much ready to go with whatever you guys want to do. So we're with you, pretty much.
Name your community, sir.
We don't have a name yet, but we've been thinking of some, and we have a great medicine woman that makes the greatest berries, and she collects them with her fists. So we were thinking about naming Fistenberry. It's a very beautiful shaman woman.
Fistenberry.
Fistenberry. Yes.
Cool. Cool.
So thank you.
Alright.
Alright.
Following Panzer will then be, Cetra.
Alright. We at Fusag, we have been attacked directly by their leader, Drake. We stumbled upon our town, it seemed like, and then we went to wave at him and meet him very graciously, I guess, and he drew his bow and started shooting at me and 3 other of my members. I completely agree with going to war with Terra Nova and showing them their proper place. That is not a question in my mind.
I like it.
That is all I have to say.
Alright, Cetra, you may now take to the middle.
Yeah. Alright everyone, we've had a representative from every single group talk. The reason I've stepped back in once again is I'm going to make a proposal now based on what I've heard from everyone, and then we'll have a vote. Yes. Yes. Oh, of course you're the king. Who am I? Yeah. I'll step back after you're done. I'll step back after you're done. That's right. Yep. Okay. Thank you very much. We really appreciate your thoughts, King. I was going to pretty much cut along something similar to that. But what I was going to first and foremost suggest is we discuss. I'm going to suggest a worst case scenario and a best case scenario of what could happen, and then how I propose we go about it. The best case scenario is we stand united and approach as a group. We speak on behalf. We don't just speak on behalf of one group like Glastonbury or just one small minority group that's just started out. We pretty much approach the leader and say this, this, and this, and we're talking on behalf of 4 whole entire communities now. We're not just going to ignore it this time. We want something to be done about it. Now, one point that was made over there is, yes, it's very true. If this is the actions of one person, now he seems like, forgive the lack of medieval grammar, he seems like an asshole, whoever this person is. I'm sure if we, prior to approaching Terra Nova, we shout out to some of the other communities down there, we let them know that we do have an issue, that we are going to attempt to resolve it. But should conflict erupt, we want them to know it is the actions of one man that has caused this to erupt, and that they should know why they're going to come to the aid of their neighbour, their irresponsible neighbour. What I propose now is that the leaders get together. We simply summon the leader onto a chat, and then we then pretty much explain what's happened and that we want something done. If we're given the brush, oh well, there's nothing you can do about it, or just a stupid answer like the first time round, which was they were target practice, which I felt was very insulting. It was the equivalent of saying, go fuck yourself. And I don't think that's satisfactory anymore.
Nay.
So, okay, so are we all agreed that we are going to attempt to be diplomatic?
Section, just one last thing before we put it to a vote. I see that you might have inspired something in Blackthorn, and I would like to suggest we give him the chance to say what he seems to see.
Okay, not a problem. I'll step back aside. Blackthorn, say what you got to say before I put forward a proposal.
Okay. I have a lot of history with these, a lot of the groups in the south.
Yep.
As far as that particular group goes, I don't think that they'll back down, and I don't think that the leader is going to take you seriously, even if we have this many people. As far as other groups that might consider stepping back and just watching, Blackgate is probably one of the ones that you're going to want to watch the most. I'm very friendly with them. I know a lot of their guys. I mean, I've supplied them with tools and that kind of things before. I could have a talk with their leader and see what their stance is on this whole thing. I think that they'll do the same thing that they've done in the past, where they just kind of stand on neutral ground and they wait for something bad to happen.
Yeah. Alright. Cool.
Now, as far as you guys were talking about, most of you are new, don't really have any combat training. I can cover y'all on weapons as long as y'all provide the leather. I mean, my weapons are going to come out 100 quality weapons almost 100% of the time. As well as, if y'all need combat training, I know the most effective ways to do that if y'all need it.
Cool. Yeah. Cool. Are you anything else you'd like to add before you step off?
That's it.
Okay.
I would like
I
to
noticed
step
Diver.
in. Go ahead.
I noticed Diver just stepped forward. Was it Diver?
Yes.
By all means, I'll wait till everyone's finished talking. If there's no one else left, I'll step forward with a proposal, and we can all vote.
I would just like to address something that Blackthorn brought up, having to do with training. Ever since the first offense has happened with this, person we're accusing, I have been holding training sessions here in Glastonbury, where we either have scenarios or just duels with practice swords and such to get our skills higher. We have invited Alton in the past, and I will always be willing to extend that to any of the surrounding communities, where if you would just like to come down, we practice our drill. We are slowly training our soldiers. Following what Blackthorn said, we have made a few weapons. They are not as great as quality as him, so we might be just talking to him to supply our cause. But besides that, we have plenty of training weapons down here, and you're always welcome to come train. And I've been slowly coordinating our soldiers, getting them equipped in armor. And if you need something, either I can supply them, or maybe we can work it out with Blackthorn to help supply it for you. That was all I like to add, just on the fact of equipment and training.
Yeah, cool.
Let me add one last quick thing.
Sorry, Ferromac, is that you?
Yeah,
Ferromac, is that you? Yeah, please step in the middle, by all means.
I also have to address something that Blackthorn was saying as far as, I think that a lot of our people still are in need of training. Like, I know that Rasp was earlier saying that he hasn't really got his combat skills yet, and I'm sure from Fistberry, you guys would probably need some training in some weapons and the like. So I'd propose that if we do end up taking any sort of action, that we first make sure that we're prepared for the worst case scenario and make sure that we're trained and equipped to handle any conflict that we might fire.
Here.
So did Russ? Did you want to say something as well?
Only one quick thought. As he says, I am not trained currently with weaponry, but even though I've sworn to lay down weapons, I am prepared to break that to defend the North.
Yep.
I just want to make sure that's clear to all.
Okay, thank you. Alright, if nobody else has any other points they'd like to make, I'm now going to step forward. And
Like, one last quick word.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Come on to the center, please.
Okay. As far as training grounds goes, I mean, I like what you guys have got going out here, but it's probably not the safest place to train in case of a surprise attack. That's why I would like to offer up the top of the mountain as a training area, because we do have a decently sized area up there now. And we could use that as a training grounds without having to worry about being attacked.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you, appreciate it. Alright, anyone else like to add something?
Yeah, I'm going to step in the middle now, although if you want to step in with me, I'm probably going to end up saying most of the stuff that you're wanting to say anyway.
Well, I'll say a few. I just want to make a few points, and then I'll suggest a few scenarios, and if there's anything I miss, you can add on to it. Okay. First and foremost, look, guys, I just want to say one thing. I'm not suggesting we go in there, bows firing and swords swinging. We are going to attempt to be diplomatic. Some of you have mentioned, you know, we don't want to, you know, cause a massive war for, you know, no reason, but I also want to remind some of you, I do get the feeling, like there was some hesitation on some people's behalf of just, you know, they might not back down, they might see this as an act of, you know, direct insult, but guys, I'd like to remind you, it could be you tomorrow, you know what I mean? Like, this guy's an arsehole, and the fact is, this is a medieval game. The leader of the respective community has to take responsibility for his soldiers. Okay, if he can turn around and go, well, it's not my fault, I can't control him, well, he can also throw him out of the community.
That's true. Andy attacked us.
Okay, and I'm pretty confident that this guy's not doing this kind of stuff in the south. There's a reason he's come all the way north. Keep that in mind. I propose that we get together with a few speakers, people who are confident to make points. We invite the leader of the respective group to a chat, and then we ask him his position and what he's prepared to do to fix the problem. If he then does not give a satisfactory answer, we say we've heard you, and we simply retreat from the conversation. We do not declare him an enemy, we do not declare war. We then discuss amongst ourselves what we think will be appropriate. We don't have to declare war, we can simply say at this time we're proposing a sanction. We can declare them an enemy without declaring war, and there's many options. But first I suggest we communicate. Layman, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I mean, I basically wanted to say the same thing. I mean, we didn't call this meeting specifically because we want to plan a war with them.
Yeah.
I mean, we want to be diplomatic, obviously. Me and Cetra talked before this started of possibly trying to get the leader to allow him to come over here for a trial and then try to settle things diplomatically like that. So yeah, we're not trying to start a war here or anything. So...
Yeah. Can I make the proposal now? Is that okay with you?
Yeah. Was that not the trial?
Okay, all in favour of first contacting the other southern neighbours, explaining to them the situation, followed by contacting the leader of Terra Nova and summoning him to a meeting, say aye.
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 Yeah, anyone against what we're doing or suggesting an alternative, speak now. Okay, I heard the cactus through the desert. Beautiful. Okay, united. Vote has passed. We will communicate with the south, followed by Terra Nova itself regarding the matter. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you to all that made the trip. Woo.
here we have Dagger making a fool of himself.
I can't watch this anymore.
Uh-oh.
Draws sword.
Stop doing that.